life. Okay. Hi, good evening, everyone. Nice to see you all again. It's me again. I hope you have enjoyed your dinner just now. And it's time to grab a coffee, grab your popcorn, and let us relax and sit back and not Netflix, but you tune into our Facebook Live for the topic of today. Today we're going to share about, can leadership be the compass for new normal? So everyone, if you have any question, you can start posing questions because based on our experience, a lot of questions we are not able to address on time, but not to worry, it will be first come, first serve. So please feel free to type in your comment and definitely stay tuned because we're going to address your question shortly. So first of all, let us introduce our honorable guest of today. So today we have three special guests with us for this topic about leadership. So number first guest here, our first guest is called James Tan. So James Tan is the CEO of Suntrack Development Sdn Bhd, a property development company established in 2002, and their company's tagline is building with passion for all for life. Moving forward, their vision is to create multi-generational homes for communities suitable for children, parents, and grandparents. Wow, three generations under the same roof. Huh? Okay, and they recently just won the prestigious FIA-BCI Malaysia Award for Best High-Rise Residential and the MIHRM and also the SOBA Platinum Award for the Best Employers. Wow, so amazing. A lot of award winning. So let us immediately welcome James Tan, the CEO of Suntrack Development Sdn Bhd. Hi, James Tan.
Hello, thank you for having me.
Hello. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you.
So, say hi to our audience of the day. Hi, audience. Hello, everyone. Hi, Lei Chin,
Hello.
Sabrina. Okay, so let us move on to the next speaker. And I realize, James, you are the only guy here today.
Very privileged.
Very privileged, very blessed as well.
Absolutely.
So thank you. So let us welcome the next speaker, which is a lady. Her name is Rohaizan. So Rohaizan Salehuddin is a certified master coach and ICIF credential executive leadership coach with more than 25 years experience in executive and leadership role with Malaysia GLC and Columbia. And she is a CEO of TLF Global, a coaching and transformation consultancy, and the founder of the Leadership Factor. So Rohaizan coaches CEO, leaders, and high potential executive in Malaysia, Asia Pacific, the Middle East, Europe, and the US. Wow, amazing. It is international level, okay? So who wants to be exceptional and produce exceptional business results for their companies through people and team that they want to empower with their unique leadership brand and presence. Wow, this is such a great profile here. So let us welcome Rohaizan Salehuddin. Hi, Rohaizan.
Hello, everyone. Nice to be here. Thank you.
Hello.
Hello. Hi, nice to meet you. Oh, I love your background. So nice. Wow.
Oh, thank you.
Especially the photo behind. So nice. Oh, okay. All right. Okay. It's very blessed to have all of you here today. And it's especially for James, the only guy here with all the ladies talking about leadership today. And later on, stay tuned, everyone, because we have a very exciting question for James today. So make sure you stay tuned with us until the end of the live. We have some surprise for you guys.
Surprise. Okay.
Yeah.
You didn't tell me that. Right. Okay, carry on.
Okay. So let us welcome our last speaker. Her name is Sabrina Tan. So Sabrina is the COO and the co-founder of Elevate. She is a rising star in our local wealth and financial industry who practices wholeness, wealth, and health concept. Wow, a financial planner who talk about wealth and health as well. Wow. Okay, a whole person concept. So a forward-thinking, reliable, and far-sighted wealth advisor and her client are blessed to have her as a wealth advisor. So with the speed of the corporations and startup raising to disrupt the normal way of doing business, she is seeking to provide more financial advisory service, especially pertaining to wealth management and personal financial planning. So currently, she and her team are making waves by impacting more lives, educating the importance of financial fitness. Wow, who is this rising star in our financial industry? Let us welcome Sabrina Tan.
Yay.
Hi.
Hi. Hi, good evening, Rohaizan and James. Thank you,
Hello.
Yvonne. Hi, everybody. Good evening to you all.
Hi. Yeah, and our audience here, like Cindy, Shade, Chia, Priscilla, saying hi to all the speakers here. Hi, everyone. Whoa. Thanks for tuning in. Wow. Okay. I know everyone are eager to listen and hear more about all these great leaders about what are leadership, especially are they the new compass in this new normal or not? So let us start with our lucky gentleman here. Since you're the only gentleman. And we always say ladies first, right? So why not we do it something different, you know? It's a new normal. So we do
Sounds
it a
good.
new normal way.
Sounds
The
good.
gentleman.
All good. All
Alright.
good.
Okay, so first, definitely, we're going to ask a question related to our topic of the day, which is about leadership. So, James, can you share with us, especially in your industry, in the developer industry, so how can you lead differently in this new normal?
Uh, not specifically to my industry, but what I've gathered so far. I mean, the topic is leadership in the new normal. And then it's a very apt topic because leadership in peacetime and leadership in wartime is very different. This is the VUCA environment. Everything is uncertain. Nobody knows what's going on. I mean, if they think they know what's going on, they're pretending. So I thought about it. So new leadership in the new normal. And I like to share this. I like to share that it's important that we accept the current situation. As simple as it sounds. The virus is the virus is the virus. The economy is not meant to go up and up and up. You're not meant to be profitable up and up and up and up. And at the way we ruin our environment, pollute our environment, and the way we treat our animals, you know, something like this sounded like it was like impending and bound to happen. So
Sorry, James. I think there's some I think it's a wire that couldn't hear your wonderful sharing, you know. So I think it's a wire. Yeah.
You couldn't hear me just now? Can you hear me now?
Yeah, now it's better.
Now it's better? Okay, well, I was just saying that the economy is not meant to be rosy forever. And the environment, the way we treat it, you know, something like this sounded like it was bound to happen. So what I meant to say is I sometimes feel and see that people are frustrated, people are upset, people are in despair. And to me, that means you are resisting the current situation, you know, not accepting the current situation. And in leadership today, that's very important in my opinion. And during the MCO, I read a few books, and by chance, came across this book called The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. And he basically, him and Jean Dunaway, another trainer of mine, they basically preach practice being present moment. Just one moment, okay? So they practice the practice of being consciously aware of your present moment and current situation. The focus of breathing, the observation of your mind, the observation of your emotion, to check them, to observation of the surrounding. Now, obviously, when I talk like this to my friends, most of them think, are you high or are you a meditation?
Are you a philosopher, James?
for a moment, because I read the book and I found it so profound, because then I practiced meditation. I know I'm not being religious here, trust me. And I practiced meditation and I found a lot of peace. Because with the practice of present moment comes the acceptance. With acceptance comes peace. With peace comes clarity. With clarity, you have clarity then to assess and evaluate current situation without stress, without the anxiety and the stuff you come along. You're just accepting the current moment. Wherever you are where you need to be. Even
I
though
feel
with
like I'm in
clarity,
another place already when you say like that. It's like
I know, because
It's another reality.
most people would laugh at me first. My friends will like, ah, ha, ha, you know, but really, just take me seriously for a while, because I feel in new normal, calm down. It's very important. Clarity to assess situation, which means to accept situation. The virus is the virus. The downturn is the downturn, and with assessment of current situation comes strategizing, and then execute. And calmness is contagious, just like stress. And when you communicate with calmness and peace into your team, people are calm. You lead them away from fear into present moment, into today, into next quarter, into what needs to get done.
Wow.
So that would be my take on the new leadership for the new normal. And if I could add on a few more, I still have a bit of time.
Definitely.
If I could add on a few more, another thing I learned from another performance guru, his name is Gordon Sutton, and when you're on a down streak of a football league, you don't start by a team like, we're gonna win the next 5 games. No, they've been losing the last 5 games. The next 5 games they're not gonna win. So then he split it into the 3 stages: initiation, momentum, and breakthrough. Initiation basically means acceptance again, wherever you are, you're where you need to be, and set small goals. So maybe halftime, 0-0 is a good goal, good small win. We have a project in Setia Alam, 330 units, and guess what is our sales target for 2 months, in the next 2 months, because we're starting soon?
For the upcoming in July, in
330 units, the goal that I set for my team, because they're like, okay, boss, I think we need to do. I'm like, how do you know? How do you know? It's uncertain. Nobody knows what's going on. You know, you don't know if the market will respond, people's confidence, blah, blah, blah. And we just want to get started, right? We just want to cream something. We just don't want kosong lah. Okay? So the goal is just 10.
So what about our? What do you think, Sabrina?
So with initiation, let me finish, because with initiation you gain 10. With a small win, you celebrate. With celebration, when you reach that, then the next level is momentum. Then you set better goals, because people got the groove into it. And then ultimately breakthrough, which doesn't happen all the time. Breakthrough comes in new ways of doing things. So so that's also what I practice. So regroup and set small win. Access the current situation.
Just now when Ewan was asking this question, James was asking this question, I'm like, 330, maybe half of it. Or maybe 100.
No.
I'm curious, what do you think? How many?
We're going to get 10, and then we're going for a celebration party. Start small, celebrate every mile of it, every bit of the way. I feel that will also help.
Yeah, I think what you're saying, James, is that you create hope. You have hope that this is what you want to achieve. Yet you are realistic that the outcomes could be something totally different, and you're willing to accept that. I think it's all about being realistic and having your ear to the ground, and being prepared to change your targets or your strategy.
I mean, for some of them, they're still confident, like 10 for sure. All right, great. Let's achieve that and celebrate first. Okay, come on, aim at the 10. First 10, just first 10. So just get some momentum, just get started. So that would be my take.
Thank you so much, James, for sharing. So, in fact, every one of here, if we listen to James, when he mentioned about clarity and calm, I believe James delivered that very well just now. He expressed his clarity and calmness. So I believe that is because he accepted the mind, the surrounding, and live in the current present. Accepted and just
in acceptance. If you feel any frustration, it's a sign of resistance. Don't resist. Is this the way it is?
Exactly.
Live as if you chose all this. It's your decision.
Wow, I love
Yeah.
that. That is so
Yeah.
wonderful.
Oh, sorry, it's
I
all from the book I read. I didn't create it. Sorry. Okay.
Thank you for sharing. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you.
I noticed there's a very different leadership in James this way because, like for example, your target, he mentioned that it's 320,000 units. So, 320 units. So
Sure, yeah.
how many you want to sell? Yeah. Then after that, his answer is very mind blown. He said initialization, momentum, and breakthrough. So even though 10 units, even though yeah, we managed to sell 10, but we celebrate every small win.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It is that is 0-0 halftime for football. Absolutely.
Mhm. Wow.
So I believe James is a football fan as well.
No, I'm not. Really, I'm not.
You know? Exactly. So accept the current situation, then you celebrate over small win, create
Correct.
the momentum, and you
Correct.
will achieve the breakthrough.
Yeah, regroup.
Yeah.
Lead your people, calm them down.
Yes.
Yeah. People are very engrossed in fear. And especially over MCO, they have so much time on Facebook and WhatsApp. Everything on WhatsApp is all fear and rubbish.
True.
Understand.
In a way.
That's why I would like to hear this from the ladies as well, since we have the gentlemen here to already kickstart with mind blown example. Okay, so what about Rohaizan? Okay, it's about leadership as well. But since Rohaizan is a coach, so I would like to address how do you especially now companies and organization structure is in a disarray mode due to pandemic. You hear a lot of pay cuts. You heard about no new business and then stacking costs over all the companies. So what is the role of leadership here, especially at this environment now? So to you, Rohaizan.
Yeah, hi. Thank you, Yvonne. Thank you for the question. It's a very meaningful question for me as a coach because, I work with leaders, with CEOs, with executives who are going through exactly the same thing that I was going through, and also a lot of leaders out there. So my answer to this would be that we need to look at this landscape in three dimensions or phases, if you like. There is the crisis period. When we first when the MCO was first announced, that was when the reality hit us. Oh my God, this is a crisis. Things are going to change. So there is the crisis. And then there is a second phase or another dimension that we can look at, which is the ramp up to the recovery from this crisis. And then, of course, there is the future. So when you say the current environment, I think different people will be looking at it in different dimensions. It depends on what kind of business you're running, where you are in your business, how prepared are you for this crisis. Well, not crisis, to handle the effects of the crisis. So, so we're in the second half of 2020, and we have seen how what was a health crisis quickly became an economic crisis. And what governments, businesses, and individuals have been doing to cope with it and try to recover from it. We have seen really ingenious ideas come out and changes happening. So the COVID-19 crisis is a humanitarian and an economic crisis. And it hit us and our businesses by surprise. We were caught literally with our pants down. No smart comment from you, James. I know what you are going to say.
It's on.
Okay, yeah, literally, we were caught with our pants down, So all I'm saying about leadership right now is that leadership manuals, models, seminars, and workshops did not prepare leaders for the effects of this pandemic. Okay, so what has become real in this phase that we are now, whether you see it as you are still in a crisis mode, you are preparing for recovery or in recovery, or you're certainly, maybe you're in a new future of your own. what has become clear for us is that there is no script for the leader. Because this has not happened, a pandemic has not happened in our lifetime before.
Yep.
So I want to say this using a metaphor and try to imagine it. We have been building the airplane as we fly it. So can you imagine the scenario for leaders? And so, I'd like to just spend a couple of minutes, just talking about what I see is and from hindsight, what I've seen is the roles that leadership has taken, in each of those phases. For example, during the crisis, when it first hit, yeah, and we can take it as a point when the MCO was declared. So, what was the leadership role? It was to weather the immediate impact. Okay, this has never happened before. We have never had to stay home and comply with rules that, work from home and so on. I have been working from home for some time, and so it did not make much of a difference to me. Yet, when I felt the impact because my clients were at home. And so the leader's job then, remember, no script, he's building a plane. This thing just happened. So what's in his mind? What is his role? Actually, it's the real leader will have said, okay, I have two things to look at now. My people to deliver my products and my business and what the stakeholders expect. And a third element, my customers. So what am I going to do, right? So people first, looking at the organization which is responsible for delivering the product and services, whatever the company is doing. His first job, his first role is to keep them safe, make them feel safe in their jobs, safe in their own environment of trying to cope with what's going on, empathizing with what they might be going through. Yeah, and sending a clear message that we are in this together. I feel you, and I'm here with you. So yeah, it's very emotional for me when I talk about this because a lot of my clients were losing jobs. Family members are taking huge pay cuts, trying to cope with working remotely, cooking dinner, doing groceries, homeschooling children, and feeling that they're not understood. And okay, so what is the job of the leaders? Keeping my people safe, empathizing with what they might be going through, and letting them know that I'm with you. We're in this together. Sort your stuff out, and I'm here if you need me. So leading, motivating, and empowering is difficult enough during normal times, and maybe a lot of leaders put that in the back burner over results and performance. Yet, in this time of crisis, leading, motivating, and empowering in what is a totally digital space calls for a totally different level of leadership.
That's why we need you, Rohaizan.
Especially when the organization has not been in the digital space and certainly not prepared to have the employees work digitally and remotely. So the job of the leader becomes what? Adjusting, and thinking about how do I take care of myself so that I take care of my employees? How do I take care of my team? How do I connect with my team? How do I strengthen my team so that they are with me in this? I can't do this alone.
Yeah, exactly. It's very important that.
Yeah, so leaders, you're human too. We're human. And we are yet expected to know what to do. So our people are wondering, so what do I do now? What do I do now? What does working from home mean? I don't, will my internet be good enough? How do I do documents? How do I share documents? How do I have meetings online? And so people were really trying to do this in the beginning. So I think then the role of leadership in this scenario is, I think James said that earlier, embrace the reality of what is going on. Everyone was trying to settle into this space, and some people are still trying to settle into this space. You be transparent, you be authentic, and you be vulnerable because you're human too. I think nobody, nobody is spared from this sense of vulnerability. I don't know what to do, and it's okay for leaders to do that. So there is a lack of information, there is conflicting information. So leaders have to rely on their foresight and still be decisive in the face of incomplete information and uncertainty. Nobody knows. We've never done this before.
Yeah, exactly, Rohaiza. I actually agree, and I'm actually amazed with you that you empathize, whatever is going on, not only just yourself but also towards your client as well. Yeah, so
Yeah.
actually, you're actually doing the right thing. We are human, not just aware about what happened in our surrounding, like our James here, but Rohaizan also mentioned about to our client as well, being empathized, being human again. Yeah, and also I agree with what Rohaizan said that there's no script for leader. You
No.
know, yeah, that especially because everyone are facing this a new normal. There is no track record or a reference for you to refer or what do you need to do as a leader in this kind
No
of normal.
dummies guide. No dummies guide, no playbook.
Yeah, no Wikipedia,
creating
okay?
the
Absolutely.
Definitely no
creating the playbook as we go along. Remember this image. We are building the airplane as we fly it. Can you imagine? So I was talking about three phases, and the second phase is like ramping up to recovery, which I think in this period we have accepted the reality, that this humanitarian crisis has affected people, lives, businesses worldwide. Governments are doing whatever they can. With the impending people going back to work, we are actually taking a step towards recovering. And what is the leader's job as we ramp up to recovery? I think it is the right time to create the vision for the company, to have um, a picture of what the company could be moving forward. Yeah, and
You need to reorganize, reset, re-strategize.
Yes, new vision.
Reevaluating the purpose. Businesses are in business for a purpose. They are there in the first place to do something to serve a certain set of customers. When you are preparing, when you are in a recovery phase, the leader's job is to help bring together a team, this team, and reevaluate their purpose. Is it still relevant? Is our business relevant? How has this pandemic and shutdown, affected our customers? How have our products, you know, um, serve our customers? Basically, you revisit the question of why are we in business? Half the battle has been won, and you have figured this out.
Exactly, Rohai. I truly like to say thank you for so much of insight, but because time is running out and a lot of guests, I believe they have a lot of questions for us. Like we have Siu Leong, Yu, Shay, Michelle, Adrian, Xiong and Francis, Christina. Hi everyone. So you see, because we have time limited. So guys, if you have any question, please just post up, just ask because time is running out and You're only on the first question only. Okay. Yeah.
Let's move on then. Let's move on.
Yeah, let's move on, Rohiza. But I'm truly proud that to say that you're doing the right job. Being empathized is true, and create a
Yeah,
safe
true.
environment. Yeah, create a safe
Yeah.
environment, especially
Yeah.
to your people. Yeah,
Yeah.
you have
Yeah.
to care to take care of everything. Your people, not only environment but job security, and tell them as a leader, telling them that guys, we are here together. We are here
Yeah.
together in this
Yeah.
crisis.
That's true. That's true.
Really?
Can I add?
Yeah.
Don't assume that people who walk into their office and everything is fine.
Yeah.
That's
Stuck
true.
at home, children stuck at home, some spouse with job security issues. Don't assume everyone is fine. It's very important that we connect very presently and really get to know.
Yes,
if
I
they're
can
totally
hear your
fine.
connection through virtual.
true.
That's totally fine. Yeah.
What about Sabrina then? Since we heard from James, heard from Rohiza, what about Sabrina? Okay, what is leadership meant to you? Especially you are from the financial industry. So, what do you think about leadership?
And thank you so much, Yvonne. In fact, I believe today's topic is actually very interesting because it's talking about leadership. And this is actually one of the most talked about topic that people are talking about. And most of them actually relate it to corporate. Am I right or not, James and Rohizan? They relate it to corporate about leadership. But in fact, this is relevant to just anyone and everyone
Absolutely.
because
Community,
everybody,
family.
yes, and many can relate leadership I mean like in a personal level. So for me, of course, I'm from the financial background. Uh, for me personally, I see leadership in a different way. I will look into myself where I'm able to lead myself first before I'm able to lead others. Because this is my opinion lah. Because if I'm not able to lead myself, I am not able to lead others. All right. And one of the things that I learned about leadership is that I'm learning about leadership is about self-awareness, being self-aware. Sometimes we are so occupied by things. Sometimes we tend to not be open to blind spot. Most of the time is about blind spot. Maybe I do not know things that I do not know. So when James pointed out or Rohizan pointed out, it is something that we have to, as leaders, we have to accept what are the things. And it is through this acceptance of our blind spot that we are able to learn and grow. Because
Yes.
if we still stuck there and then we just deny it, then we will still be there. So for me, self-awareness in leadership is very important because it leads to progressiveness. It leads to growth, to continue to grow. So this is one of the things. And also besides this self-awareness and also a self-reflection. So I like to ask myself after one whole day, what did I've done right? What are things that what I face challenges? What are things that I can actually do better? This is kind of like a self-reflection. Is where we, like just now James mentioned about the calmness, think about it, and then I reassess back. I think in leadership, this is very important. Number one is self-awareness. The other one is self-reflection as well. If not, we'll be going around and pinpointing people. You know, when we point things around, it's always about you. Yeah. So this is one of the things that is to me, this is about leadership. In fact, I actually so happened by chance read a book from John Maxwell by chance. Okay, so yeah, by chance. So John Maxwell actually mentioned about leadership, and he mentioned about value. Because at the end of the day, value is very important in every leaders. Like for example, I carry a different value compared to Yvonne, or maybe James carry a different value compared to Rohizan. So it is something. This is the value that that also inspires and also grow through. Yeah, and one of the things that I learned from John Maxwell is knowing about the purpose. Every one of us have a purpose in life, and if we do not know what is the real purpose, then we are not able to direct in a direction. We're not able to focus because when we are not focused, then we tend to like go sidetrack. Yeah. So this is one of it. And also the last one, which is leading by example. I think what James did mention just now was very true. Leading by example is very important. Set the example, walk the talk. If not, then people will be thinking, you say it so easily, why not you do it first? right?
How about integrity? You are outside, inside, same. Integrity. Yeah.
Correct. Yeah. So these are the 4 things that to me, this is the things that I'm thinking about leadership. Yeah. Back to you, Yvonne.
Thank you so much, Sabrina. Oh, I like your example. You see, when you point you, if you realize when you point you, actually the 3 fingers are pointing back to yourself, See?
Correct. Yes.
Yeah, exactly. So I noticed there's a similarity between James, Rohizan, and Sabrina is about self-awareness.
Mm-hmm.
Accepting all the blind spot, then self-aware and move on, progress, throughout the momentum. Okay, empathize and then move on. You have to lead because leadership is about leading. Then you give you inspire. Okay, you give the security by leading by example. If you are security, you have to lead it with you yourself first. Then it will actually influence.
Mm-hmm.
It is
Yep.
contagious. Leadership is contagious. Yeah,
Yes.
and so they have Michael Teo with us here and Eunice Yuan. Wow, Eunice Yuan is a very great leader from Singapore. We have international Singapore viewers
Hi,
here.
Eunice.
Wow.
Hi, Michael.
And Chia as well. Wow, okay. Yeah. Speaking about what Michael Teo said, good to see power woman. Wow. So just right on the spot because I have one special question for James about power woman. So the progress of the Facebook Live later on will highly depend on how James is going to answer this question. So James, are you
What?
Pressure on you already.
What's that?
all right?
Okay.
Brought it out. So perfect timing, okay, for James, specially designed for you. So James,
Okay.
since you are the only guy here and we have 3 ladies here with us today, so blessed.
Okay.
So you are blessed with this special question. How do you find leadership in women? Okay, woman leadership. Wow, okay.
Wow.
And I've been looking forward to this
answer.
There are a lot of leaders,
How do I
female
find
leaders.
women leadership? The question is, how do I find women leadership?
Yes, exactly.
Okay. You put a gender into it.
Yes.
When I went to university, the first day I went to my sports federation, they have a big plaque in front that says, "We, the University Sports Federation, have a equal opportunities policy. We have no discrimination against gender, race, religion, and skin color."
Well, I still
And then
remember
later I
when.
copied that and put that in the Suntrack development, and I added no discrimination against race, religion, gender, skin color, political alignment, sexual orientation, and family background. And so we have operated like that. We have operated on merit from day one. So it didn't occur to me that I'm the only man here. Okay. Of course, it occurred to me now, but it didn't raise it. It didn't come that way to me. We have always hired and rewarded based on merit. That's the way we run our company from day one, because I copied it from my university into our company. And in my management, top management, there's 5 HOD and a CEO. I'm the CEO. We have 3 women, 3 men. 2 Malay, 2 Chinese, 2 Indian.
Wow.
And I did not design it. We basically hired the best people we could find. I mean, it could be all men today. I don't know. It could be, because it was not designed. It was just pure eyes open, pure opportunities, pure screening. And we got that with us. Our workforce is about half men, half women for a construction industry. Our head of project is a woman. Morena. Our head of customer service is a woman. Okay, that's not so surprising. But yeah, our head of project is a woman. She's a civil engineer. Her name is Morena. And with equal opportunities policy, I mean, it's true for me. I think it's the right thing to do. But sometimes I think, more importantly, it promotes merit-based performance. It promotes merits. The message is clear to everyone. Everyone has a chance. All of you have a chance to do well and grow your career in this company, because we're colorblind, race blind, everything blind. So how do I find women leadership? How do I find women leadership? I think there's strength in diversity. So how do I find? Yeah, there's strength in diversity. You get ideas and exposures and opinions. Of the two of the 6 people in the top management ferociously disagree with me. You're listening, haha.
I hope they are not watching this Facebook Live.
No, I hope they are, because I'm speaking the truth. So there's strength and diversity. So there's just leadership and people to me. No women leadership to me in that sense.
I just want to jump in on that, because I think it was Sheryl Sandberg, who is the COO of Facebook, that said, in the future there will be no women leaders, just leaders. So
that is right.
That's good.
There's no
Yes, everyone stand a chance.
Yeah,
wow,
there's no white president or black president, just president, right?
Yeah. That's true.
Yeah, Black Lives Matter. All right, carry on.
Oh, thank you, James. Wow, I'm actually amazed that you even incorporate that into your company. That not only that, you lead by example. You deliver the message clearly that you see my HOD are 3 women. Even the head project of construction is a lady, is a woman. So what's wrong? As long as she can be a leader.
Head of project is the head of project. That's it.
Yeah, it's just head of project. Yeah, exactly. Well, thank you. And what Rohaizan said is true about there's just leader. Okay, there's no woman, there's no man, just leaders. Okay, so speaking about leadership, Rohaizan. So between leadership and sales, which one is the deciding factor for survival? But you only can choose one. It's the tough question. Between sales and leadership, no companies always can't really find a balance. So if you really have to decide the deciding factor for survival, so which one will you choose, leadership or sales? Right.
So I think it's not easy to say, but the pandemic poses a major challenge in the short run, but it also offers the opportunity to transform the sales organization in the future. One of the first things to take a hit will be the business as usual sales activity. You got to be able to look it in the eye and say, is what I'm doing relevant right now? If your products and services are relevant to customers, it's a matter of settling into a digital way of selling and staying in touch and communicating with your customers. You may require tweaking your messages and approaching your customers with humanity during this period. If your product or services seem irrelevant in the moment, survival may mean just sit tight and evaluate the situation, and reflect on how you can stay in touch with your customers to tell them that you care and you are still there. In leadership, on the leadership part, on the other hand, it's I think the job of leadership in the long term, medium to long term, moving forward, is to provide guidance, support, and reassurance to his team, of whom one will be the one in charge of sales and pushing, the sales team, and then to help to be, guide them or lead them with clarity on how to position the organization to communicate with customers, and again, it depends on how relevant you are. There were some businesses that became irrelevant when the crisis hit, and some businesses became super relevant. And so leadership's job is trying to save jobs.
So
and
you would
pivot
choose leadership.
Creatively to serve customers and stay relevant. Otherwise the business can cease to exist and shut down. So I think I would say that both are equally important. The leader's job is to see the balance. What is most important to me right now? Am I going to send my people out and tell them that you have to keep pushing your sales, or what is my priority to save the business and see how we can pivot, make ourselves relevant, change our delivery methods, be creative, adjust, adapt. speak. So I would choose leadership, of course.
You will choose leadership. I
James.
see. So your son will be leadership. So,
Yeah.
yeah. What about James and Sabrina? You choose leadership or sales?
I think it's a very tricky question. James
No,
first.
you start. You start.
It depends on the situation for me. Yeah, in this kind of situation, I'll choose leadership first. Yeah.
May you tell us, share with us why do you choose leadership? Especially in the industry, Sabrina, because you are very special, and it seems that people close to you are in the same industry. They can be even your competitor. So how do you lead? How do you show your leadership in this kind of situation? Because like what all the speaker James and Rohaizan mentioned, there's no female or male here. There's no gentle here. Yeah. So how do you lead? Yeah. If everyone close around you can be your competitor, so how do you lead?
I realize this question from you, Iwan, kind of tough, but it's also quite a good question.
I like to challenge my partner, especially my partner for Elevate Sabrina partner. Okay. Yes.
Yeah. So for this question, this is a good question. It's a deep question, in fact. I spoke to Rohaizan earlier, and she introduced me that first thing she mentioned about this topic when I told her this is a leadership topic. Leadership comes from family. What she mentioned was leadership comes from family. It starts from the family. Do you agree with me or not? The way we are brought up, the way that how we teach. I don't have kids, but the way how we communicate, teach the kids, talk to our family. It's all part of the leadership, which I really agree on what she mentioned when she was saying that. And I was always taught that the things that we do starts from the family. If my mom is listening, she will totally agree what I'm talking about. Yeah, because this is something that she mentioned about it. Yeah.
Hey, Sabrina and mom. You have a great daughter here. Okay.
Yes. So just now when you mentioned people that are close to me, so happened my dad is also in the same industry with me. It's a family thing, and I think Yvonne can relate. I think James also can relate because it's a family in the same industry. And of course, there will be some differences, but I want to use this to actually this kind of relationship is pretty unique, I would say. And I want to use this thing to actually learn from each other. I mean, I am still learning from his vast experience since he's in this industry for more than a decade, almost 2 decades already, and still counting. We are learning from each other, right? And also, in terms of we are learning from different strengths. What is he good in? What am I? And then we leverage from there. So it's all about how we want to leverage on this kind of strength and how we actually work through it. And of course, I'm very glad that during this MCO, he has been very adaptive. For a baby boomer to come on live and do Facebook Live, it's a challenge, but he actually took this challenge and also come out from his comfort zone to actually do it and want to know more about it. So this is something that I'm very proud of, and also picking up social media skills. I mean, maybe for us it's easier. He takes a little bit time, but we are working through it, and I'm also learning from his experience as well. And for Yvonne, wow, you are saying that challenging competitor.
Yeah, how do you see it? Yes.
Okay, so Yvonne is also in from Elevate, and they're from the financial industry. So, and as for Yvonne, I like to take it as a good way, because when there's competitiveness, then only you want to improve yourself. Okay, so I like the competitive spirit, which is in a good way. It's to stay competitive so that we can actually learn from each other. But also, I'm really learning from how she really can rise up to be a COT. For those who are watching and do not know what is a COT in the financial industry, it is actually the top 0.1%. Correct me if I'm wrong, Yvonne.
Yeah, 0.03.
0.03% of the financial industry, and she really rise up to become that. So I am learning from her, and definitely I will be thinking like people will be thinking like, this small petite lady here doesn't look like wow, but she really can achieve so many things. So and of course I learned from her how to face challenges and also the journey. And I was thinking like, what are the things that she has done, And finally, now I know. And I believe that the most important thing is the value that she holds in leadership, the value that she holds when she's doing her thing. These are the things that I think, if you're asking me, what do I feel? I think it's something that I'm learning as well. You know how people say, oh, your competitor, but then actually like Nokia and Samsung, they are competing, but they're actually learning, and that's why they always improve. So this is the thing that I've learned. Yeah.
Wow, Sabrina. So you are praising me for giving you a tough and challenging question. I like
That's always the way, right? That's always the way.
I like it. Yeah, in fact, I agree what Sabrina said that in fact, yes, we always leverage and we always learn. We look at the good points, then we improve from there. What are the good points in people around us? Then how do you lead? Because lead is always something come from inside. Then you empower others. Yeah. If you are able to empower others, then only you are able to lead others. So you must learn a lot of goodness in you. Try to improve, acknowledge your blind spot, like whatever Sabrina mentioned earlier on. Then you move on. Then you lead. Then you influence. Yeah, leaders is actually an influencer. It's not a manager. That's why the topic is no longer about manager. It's about leadership. Leaders.
Absolutely.
True.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Sabrina. So what about James? Between sales and leadership.
I thought about it. And when you asked that question, I thought of my good friend. Actually, I've not seen him for a long time. He was a former CEO of MYOB. His name is Paul Conway. And he said to his board of director, in difficult times when they had to make difficult decisions, he said, are we a profit-driven company or a purpose-driven company?
Wow.
Yes, I agree.
Decide. Because if you're a profit-driven company, then numbers is all we care about. Screw the value, screw your people, screw your customer, because number is all you care about. We might as well sink right now.
Yep.
In today's environment, if you're a profit-driven company, your customer will know. Because every decision that you make is based on numbers, it's based on your bottom line. It's not based on whether you truly care for your customer, your employees, your shareholders, your community at large. So be purpose-driven, that you'll be rewarded. And be purpose-driven comes with leadership. Lead people, lead your shareholders. Tell them the goodness of being purpose-driven, because beyond Suntrack development, beyond selling houses, we're solving a community problem. We're creating communities that are suitable for multi-generation, homes suitable for senior citizen. There's a better way for older people, senior people to live. There's a better way, more active lifestyle that's independent, that's cared for, that older people, grandparents can live for. There's a better way for people of multiple special abilities, whether they're on wheelchair or eyesight or hearing, that they can live and be part of an inclusive community. So we're leading a larger purpose beyond our company, beyond our project in Setia Alam. We're leading a larger purpose. We're a purpose-driven company. We lead our customer. And as a result, we are rewarded with their purchase, i.e. their sales. So sales is a byproduct. It's a result of our leadership, of our purpose.
Wow.
Totally agree with you. I want to
clap for James.
If there's an emoji, I want to put the emoji of clapping.
Yeah, exactly.
That's how we would do it. That's how we would do it.
I like the way you put it, are we purpose-driven or profit-driven? Yeah. Especially
Paul Conway, if he's listening.
Okay. Yeah. So yes, I like the way you say that sales is actually a byproduct of your leadership.
It's a reward of our leadership, of our vision for the betterment of our community, for the betterment of our customer, their lifestyle, their independence.
Exactly. Especially in the financial industry as well. Like what me and Sabrina we truly values. It's not about how much you know, but how much you care.
Okay. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. It's how much you care for the people. Like for James, if you want to build just for the numbers, you can build multi-story or what. But your purpose here is to have 3 generation or multi-generation under the same roof.
Suitable home. Yeah, we have a lot of designs, a lot of thought putting into place to create community space, place for grandparents and children that's safe and conducive, blah blah, and we go on and on and on. And everything we do has a purpose behind it. It is not a concrete block, I assure you.
Wow. Yes. And I just want to add on something. I read an article from Inc. It said that especially at tough time like this, purpose is the one that we stay focused on, and we will stay resilient because purpose is the one that drives us through.
Yeah.
Because without purpose, you will be just stuck there talking about the environment. Oh, I can't do it, I can't do. But if you have a purpose in life, you have the purpose in whatever you do. That is the driving factor that for you to move on, regardless of what kind of surrounding. Just accept it and just move on because of the purpose that you have.
Absolutely. Larger than self. Purpose larger than self.
Exactly.
Maybe I can add a little bit on James. Just now when you say behind that wall there's a purpose, I think that is something that people want to know. When people know that purpose, people will buy in. Yes. Because the purpose is bigger than the self.
They want to be with us.
Correct.
They want to come with us.
Yeah.
So I believe every leader has the purpose in what they are doing. That's why it makes them a leader.
Yeah. True. Absolutely. Wow. It's your vision. It's the vision. Driving the vision.
Right. Exactly. Thank you so much. And audience, because time is really running out, we have about less than 5 minutes. So if you have any question about leadership, especially in your organization and for your team, please ask, first come, first serve basis, as time is running out. So don't miss this chance. As you can see, a lot of great speakers here, Sabrina, Rohaizan, James, they are able to share. There's so much to share and pour out to you based on their experience and what do they think as a leadership. So please grab this opportunity to ask because time is really running out. So move on. I want to ask this question to Rohaizan. Okay, speaking about leadership, is especially in short, what do leaders should do, or what should a leader shouldn't do in this new normal? What is the do or don't in short for leaders?
Okay. I think, as I said earlier, there is no script. I think I promote authentic leadership. That every person who becomes a leader, it's based on this saying that leaders are made, not born. Number one, who you are is how you lead, and how you lead is who you are. So I think that leadership comes from the inside. But what is apparent is that, what are some of the lessons that we can learn from this coronavirus experience that we can take with us into the future? I think there is one thing is that I think the leader's job is to improve the organization's preparedness to act quickly, to produce massive change whenever there is a crisis. And we will face future crises. And it's the job of the leader in that time, is my organization prepared, to make a massive change? Or are we going to keep continuing doing what we did in the past, which is incremental progress? Change a little bit here, change a little bit there. And then when huge event like this happens, we don't know what to do because our organization is prepared for that normal. And it's so difficult to take a dinosaur into the future. So that's one point. The second point I would like to make, if I have a little bit of time, is to say that during a crisis, leaders are revealed.
Actually, a lot of revealed in this crisis.
Is revealed during a crisis.
Absolutely.
What leaders of companies do during a crisis, that's how they will be remembered.
That is true. That is true. You make the hardest decision during crisis.
Yeah, and so you need to make those decisions with EQ. A lot of EQ is involved. The emotional intelligence part. What leaders must have absolutely is develop the strengthen rather the emotional awareness, the EQ muscle, so that you can make informed decisions about what matters most to you and your organization. Self-management, self-awareness, social awareness, relationship management. So the idea is to become a leader with all those values. And what is a leader after all? But someone you follow, not have to not have to follow, but want to follow. So
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
I think, yeah. So if there is no playbook yet, these are absolutely the things that normal leadership, leadership during normal times may not have put so much focus on this. It's like driving the business, creating a growth, and so on. So yeah, this would be my 3 points about what is leadership moving forward.
Yeah. Then what about the don't? What shouldn't a leader do?
Well, I guess it's the opposite of that. Don't think you know everything, because maybe
Uh,
don't think you know everything. Be okay with not knowing.
yeah.
Uh,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
don't hire people less, less than you. Hire people who are smarter than you, so that they
Mm-hmm.
can help you with all this information, filling the blanks and challenge you and get rid of your blind spots, etc. Don't, there is a time for command and control. If there is a fire, you don't tell people nicely, excuse me, please leave. You will shout at them and then say, you could get out now. This place is dangerous. So there is a time and place for different leadership. But I say, I like what Sabrina pointed out earlier about values, and I think, and this is something that when we talk about purpose, a purpose-driven organization is also driven by shared values, so
Absolutely.
Mm.
values come from the CEO or the leader who walks the talk. So if you want transparency, be transparent. Don't
Mm-hmm.
advocate transparency, but hide all the information. If you advocate integrity, then show integrity. Be a person who is one of character and integrity. If
Mm-hmm.
you want to empower, then empower. Give people autonomy to decide. Yet have them be driven by certain core values. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
really the way to empower people. Not with
Mm.
yeah.
Okay.
I hope
Thank
that
you,
answers
Mohammed.
your question. Thank you for letting me share.
Thank you. Wow. Yeah, I like the way you say, don't fill it the blank. Okay, don't think that you know everything. It's okay that you don't know. That's
Yeah,
where we accept our blind spot, then we learn, then we leverage, then we just move on. And
yeah,
especially, yeah, and this in this new normal, that is where leadership reveal, like what Rohaizan had mentioned. In
Mm-hmm.
fact, what makes you notice the company that do differently in this new normal? It's actually the leadership they do. If you realize that, it's the new innovative way and the courage they take the company to the next level. So not only in terms of organization they are able to lead, but industrial level. That's why in this crisis, everyone noticed this company suddenly do something different, that company do something different. Then everyone wants to follow. And all these are actually driven by leadership.
Mm-hmm. True.
Yeah, it's how the company leads the team, the organization, how they move on and take drastic measure in drastic time, like what James has mentioned. So all these are rise through leadership.
mhm.
Yes.
True.
So yep, exactly. So yep. So it's our topic of the day, which is, can leadership be the compass for new normal? So based on all our speaker here, I believe
Answer.
it's a yes.
Yes,
It's
Absolutely.
definitely a yes here.
absolutely.
Yes.
I,
Yeah.
I
Yes.
like what I like about that question is I had one of these points somewhere that leaders are like the North Star. When I do not know the North Star is what you see on a compass. You know, when you are lost and you don't know where is north and where is south and where is east and west, you look for the North Star, and you will know. Uh, you will know where you are. So
Yeah.
that is the function of a compass, and true leadership is like that. I mean, if as a leader you are confident based on values, based on principles, timeless universal principles, and of course you have the technical and knowledge and competence. uh, if you are a leader with those values, clear about your purpose, clear about your vision, whenever anyone in the organization is uncertain what to do, they
That's true.
they just you become their north star. So what would
Yeah.
my CEO do in this situation? What do the
Mm-hmm.
where do the values point me to? Is this consistent
Mm-hmm.
with our purpose? Is this
Mm-hmm.
consistent with what who my organization is? So yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Actually, to add on a little bit on Rohaizan, just now when you mentioned about value, about a leader, it reminds me of, I learned this from Keith Day, if he's listening. At the end of the day, just now I mentioned the value is very important of a company, because you can have a big house, that's a goal, but the value of a big house is actually family and also rest. You can have a big car, but the value is to have a smooth journey, to have a safe drive. So at the end of the day, that value is the thing that is really purpose driven, and this is something that people will look into. Yeah. Sorry, this
Mm.
just wanted to add on.
Yeah. So
Yes.
I think values and leadership are highly correlated.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Yep. Yeah. So
Shines true and true.
Brandon, James, you
Shines
want to add
true
on?
and true. Yeah, shines
Oh,
true
okay.
and true.
Yep. Exactly. So
Yeah, I think that's another last one.
yeah, the time is running out. So I would like to end this with a question from the floor. So from Francis Tan here. So to James and Rohaizan, the idea of servant leadership has been around for a while. So can you define it, and has it been widely practiced successfully? Wow. So we add on another terms there, servant leadership. So first of all, what is servant leadership? Okay, then is it being how do you define servant leadership among so many leadership style, and has it been successfully practiced by any of our leaders here, or you can name some example? Okay, to Rohaizan and James.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Uh, I'm tempted to Google servant leadership. I will tell you what I understand from servant leadership.
Yep.
Servant comes from the word serve.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So I can look at myself and how I practice servant leadership. My goal as a coach is to serve my customers. I am not selling a product. I
Mm-hmm.
serve them, and I provide them with something that they they need. So what I do as a leader, what I do in any situation, whether it's with my client, especially here with my client, is that, hey, I'm here to serve you. I'm here to be whatever you need me to be in this moment. um, I'm here to help you get to where you want to be. It's not about me, it's about you, and what
Mm.
is what is good for you in this time. So I think
Mhm.
since I cannot, there's so much information going in today. I do not have the definition of servant leadership, but I can tell you what I believe it to be understand. It means that the old one of the precepts of leadership, that I'm in control. I'm the authority here. I'm the expert. I know everything. What I say goes. I have all the answers. That is not servant leadership. Servant leadership would actually mean that I'm listening to you. Your viewpoints are important to me. I value your opinion. I value your contribution. We are a team.
That's correct. That's correct. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So what Rohaizan said about what servant leadership to her is about you, it's not me. Okay. I'm here to listen out. I values your opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you portray leadership by listening to your team, listening to people around you.
Yeah.
Then you portray leadership. So that is servant leadership to Rohaizan. Thank you so much for sharing. So what about James? What is servant leadership meant to you?
I read it a long time ago. I don't have the textbook answer. I'll just give it to you as the way I experience it. Be in service to others, be in service to your community at large, operate from there. Today, we're sharing wisdom or sharing our opinions today because we hope to pass on knowledge and share ideas and hopefully inspire some people who may need some assistance, some confidence or some encouragement to like, how do we deal with this? How do we deal with this? So that's why I'm here today. That's why I think we are here today. So servant leadership, being service to others. So as we operate from there, we come from humility. We are humble. We come from contributions and of creating value to others because we're serving others, and then and also we are in contribution to our employees. They are serving our company. They are serving our customers. We are in contribution to them and their lives and betterment of their career. Therefore, they bring better income to their family. We're in service to them, service to our shareholders, our customers. So everything comes from from source. Everything comes from what I have to offer to others. And another perspective of servant leadership would be for the leader to be on the ground, get your hands really dirty, get on the front line. Your sales staff struggle with a unhappy customer. You don't leave him there to dry.
Yep.
You join the front line, and then you attend to the customer. You provide support. You have problems on the project. You don't leave the site team to dry. You get on the ground and let's pull things together. Let's pull resource together. Let's get it done. So you're really on the front line. Your face in the mud, and so that's another perspective of servant leadership. And to the answer, has it been widely practiced successfully? I like to think yes. I like to think I don't know. I mean, okay, widely in the sense of like everyone, I can't comment, but practice it. I don't have a conscious definition of it in our operation model, but I can concur with that. That is how we operate. That would be my answer.
Yeah, thank you, James. Yeah, I truly agree what you say about going down to the front line, getting your hands dirty. Not just your sales staff to go. Well, why the sales is so low? Why you didn't do this, didn't do that? Why? But going together down with your sales team, get your hand dirty. Be at the front line with them, understand them, what are they facing, and tell them that okay, let's do this. Okay, let's do this together. Yeah, that is called servant leadership. It's no longer at the high side and you are the sales.
I mean, the opposite of servant leadership is I want 100 units sold in 2 months. I don't care how you do it.
Yeah.
Yes,
Sounds very familiar.
Sounds familiar, right?
It boosts your ego and it gets you nowhere. So that would be the opposite of servant leadership, in my opinion.
Yeah, thank you for the question, Francis. I think when we think of servant leadership and how it came about, I think we must look at past leaders who are the icons of servant leadership. I would certainly say Martin Luther King. He would come up. Mahatma Gandhi, Mother Teresa,
Barack Obama.
I don't. Okay, so I don't know. I don't know about the more recent people. I think people with deep causes and say that I'm here. I have no agenda. My agenda is bigger. It's about you and what's good for you. So
larger than self, absolutely.
Larger than self, not just a profit.
I think it's placing other people's thing before us. Yeah, larger than self. Just now James was mentioning other people's Interests.
Putting the community and others, than your self-interest. So just now Hamza mentioned about Muhammad Gandhi and so on, but I feel that, and James mentioned about frontliner as well. It actually triggers me one person, which is Dr. Noor Hisham, our Malaysian fighting convict. Yeah, he is down the field with the frontliner fighting convict together.
Yeah.
Not just asking, but he be at the front line. I mean, he doesn't have to, but he choose to be there with the front line to fight the convict. Yeah, and Malaysia become the leading doctor who fight against convict. Yeah, so he just suddenly just triggered me about him. Yeah.
Thank you, Francis. Thank you, Francis.
Yeah,
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. So today, I believe all our audience here bring back a lot of value about leadership. We have leadership from different perspectives, the do and don'ts, and example, like even in the construction, we don't have gender. Then from Sabrina about even though as people around us, we can leverage and we learn, then we acknowledge our present, acknowledge whatever blind spot we have, then we move on, then we lead. And I realized a lot of leadership are always incorporated with high values and purpose behind it.
Yep.
Yeah, and always
Absolutely.
feel together. Yeah, leadership is not always people thought that I lead from the top, but also we can go bottom and pull hands to hands together to move on. That is also a leadership. Yeah, so in fact, like what Wahaiza mentioned, the North Star, yes, there are so many stars, but why North Star is the one that makes sure we are on the right path? Because that is the lead star, that's the leadership. It's a new compass.
Universe.
That is the law of universe. You can't even change that. That is universe, not even philosophy, okay? Yeah. Thank you so much for all the great sharing from James Tan, from Rohaizan and Sabrina. Me myself, truly, I learned a lot as well about, even leadership topic itself is so wide, There's so many things to learn about leadership. Yeah.
I think I want to acknowledge and honor all three of you for allowing me to be in this space. I would love to coach you someday, because I can see and I can sense that you are highly self-aware folks, and that everyone in this space today is coming from their heart.
Thank you for being with us. We are honored to have you in the over here as well to be with us.
Thank you for your kind words.
Actually, I have a very interesting question here. I'm not sure. I think we should take it because now we are talking about leadership, right? But machine are taking over now. We're talking about AI, fintech, So, do we still need leadership?
Of course.
Of course.
Oh, definitely.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
They are more efficient than us and human, So
there is I want to share a very quick story or piece of information which I watched. I can't remember whether it was a TED talk or it was a documentary, but it was on CNA. It was a kind of a feature where there is this person who's developing using AI technology, developing robots that feel. Okay. I mean, I thought that this is interesting, and the whole little sequence or the documentary showed how a person was communicating with this robot with this very what is the word?
It reminds me of Siri.
Yeah, with AI technology.
Siri.
And
Google.
And it showed that this robot was responding to this person's questions with emotions, saying that, oh, that makes me sad, or that makes me happy, And so at the end, the interviewer was asking, so does that mean that this robot can think like a human being? And the answer was, all of these are algorithms that are programmed, using AI.
Yep.
So the information that is programmed into this robot is based on that human's reactions to something that he said. Okay, so if you follow me, so what is going in the program is based on the outputs or the emotions expressed or felt by the human being. And so actually what's being programmed in the robot is just, a program written. If the person reacts this way, then this means this, and so you react this way. So, but if you were put this robot with another human being, those responses will not be valid because they're not programmed into him. Do you follow what my explanation? I think you have to see that video. So what I'm just saying is, there is, I think, no replacement for leadership because we are not robots.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Rohaiza. Yes, we are not robot. We are human. Like the very first beginning we mentioned, especially in this pandemic, we are human. We need to be human, okay? To be empathy. Yeah, we human, we empathize, okay? So we still need leadership in human, right? And also I realized just now when I asked this question, he's like, wow, yes, definitely we still need leadership. Okay, so I believe there's something from James as well. Yeah.
I don't have a lot to say about it. I mean, machines and automation will reduce headcount. That's undoubted. But it won't reduce the requirement for leadership. Leadership is a different field altogether. It comes with strategy, empathy, emotion. There's so much more in our human mind and our connectivity with other humans and leading people, bringing people with you to go to a vision and an objective. I can't imagine a machine doing that. If the machine can lead me to do something, perhaps that's the day we may not need. Then maybe we can do with machine. But until that day, I think it will be the human that will lead the human and the other machines.
Watch this movie called Mother. It's a movie. I'm not sure if I saw it on Netflix or somewhere else, but that is a very interesting thing about. I won't tell you what it is, but it was the mother is a robot. It's a highly intelligent AI robot, and she's raising a child in space. The whole thing takes place on a spaceship. So I think that's a very interesting, gives you a very interesting perspective. Because this girl is being raised in space. She has never been raised by a human mother. You will know how the story goes. So she could very much relate to how she was being raised, not knowing that there is such thing as a human mother.
Yeah, I think movie nowadays are a very good simulation of a lot of what if things happen in the future, So I think movie is a very good simulation for that. Sabrina, what about you? Do you have anything to add on for this?
I totally
financial industry, fintech are taking over now, so yeah. So what do you think?
Yes, I totally agree with what James and Rohaiza was mentioning. Definitely cannot replace leadership, even though the AI is coming, even though it's coming, which is the reality, okay? But things that cannot be replaced are like human touch. Things like just now when James talked about emotions, this kind of things cannot convey through a machine. And I cannot imagine if my boss next time is a machine. I can't relate. It's not human. So at the end of the day, when we face crisis, it's back to being human. That's the most important thing. So that's the thing that I just want to say. Thank you. I'm back to you.
I hope that Sophia the robot from UAE won't just come in and challenge us this. Sophia the robot.
We always tend to be
you are wrong.
we are always tend to be corrected. It's okay. If we are wrong, we're wrong. It's okay.
Yeah. If she can be here with us, I will be glad. Sophia the robot, she's interesting. The first AI which own a citizenship as a human. Wow. Interesting. All right. Okay. Thank you so much. Sorry for taking up so much time from the speaker here. And I saw there are more questions, but after this, if you have any question, you can get connected to our speaker here. So Sabrina will actually leave down a connection link. Yeah, to how you can get connected with James Tan, Rohaizan, and also Sabrina for all the questions. All right. Thank you so much for your time, and thank you for tuning in. I believe you have a lot of takeaway, and please continue to lead, and especially it's the new compass in this new normal. Okay. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you.
Okay.
All right.
Have a nice evening. Stay safe.
Yeah. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.